Hey guys, Wendy here with Jazzy Doodle Designs, and I'm very excited to be bringing you my newest download for you guys. And it's a 6-page document of adult coloring terminology. And in this video, I am going to put it up on the screen and show you what is included in those 6 pages. If you want to watch the video, then stay tuned, and I'm gonna put it up on my screen so it'll be easier for everyone to see, and we're gonna go through, and I'm not gonna read it to you, but I'm just gonna go over, like, for example, on this page, it goes over all of the mediums that are most commonly used in adult coloring. I think this is a perfect guide for beginners, but I also feel like for a more advanced colorist, sometimes you just forget, is it Neocolor 1 or Neocolor 2 that's water soluble? Or what is that gesso that I keep hearing about? Maybe you've never used gesso, so you have questions. So this is just a one-stop place to go to get a little bit of information. Now, as I go along, going forward throughout the year, I'm going to be doing short videos on all of these things to do a deeper dive. So I might get into gesso and when to use it, why to use it, where to use it, the pros of it, the cons of it, and that kind of stuff. I plan on doing videos on that, but that is not what this will do. This is just going to tell you what it is and generally how it's used within the adult coloring community. So let's take a look. Okay, so here we are at the beginning of it, and basically I just tell what it is and everything that I've already told you. So I kind of go through what to color. So different things that people can color, adult coloring books, what are the advantages, where to find them, some of the bigger known names, PDFs, and the advantages and disadvantages of those and where to find them. Talking a little bit about being careful about copyright issues. So line art, talking about what's the difference between line art and grayscale. And once again, my goal here is not to read this to you. If you're interested in it, the first 50 people on my Ko-fi shop will receive this for free. After that, it's $5. What mediums to color with? So I go over the different ones, like alcohol markers, that they're fast drying, generally smooth blending, but they do bleed through. And then I give 2 examples. So obviously this is not all the examples. I tried to pick maybe more of a leading brand that maybe is a little more expensive, and then more of a budget friendly example. And I tried to do that with everything. My goal is not to be inclusive with brands or to say, oh, you should buy one of these 2 brands. I just tried to pick ones that I felt like were used more often in the adult coloring arena, and or, like I said, more expensive, cheaper version. Watercolor markers, the pros and cons. Alcohol-based pencils, your your polychromos versus the Prisma Premier. Going over the difference between Neocolor 1 and 2. Watercolor pencils versus watercolor paints. Gel pens, oil pastels, soft pastels, hard pastels, pastel pencils, even specialty items like distressed ink and distressed oxide, the difference between Posca paint pens and the Posca Uni paint pens, acrylic paint pens, Inktense pencils, Inktense blocks. So these are the most commonly used in watercolor. Obviously, I didn't cover every medium. I didn't put down oil paint. I've never seen anyone oil paint in a coloring book. Not saying you can't, just to me, it's not something I normally see. How to color. So some of the color pencil techniques you might hear people talk about: cross-hatching or stippling, hatching, going back and forth, scumbling, burnishing, and layering. These are just defined so that when people are talking about it, you can understand what they're saying. Color terms: hues, tints, tones, shades, value, saturation, warm colors, cool colors. Going into color schemes, your analogous, I'm probably going to mispronounce all these, complementary, split complementary, triadic, monochromatic, I'm going to call it square and rectangle. And I give one example of each of those. These are not the only example. And when I do a video on color schemes, I'll try and give more examples, but this is just to give you an idea. Other tools that people might talk about: different types of paper. What is Amazon paper or color book paper? If you aren't in the coloring world, that might seem like a weird thing. Watercolor paper versus Bristol vellum. What is tone paper? What is this tooth? So I define all of those things for you. Solvents, different things to blend with, and I give examples. Tortillon and stump. Gesso, watercolor ground, golden satin glazing liquid, permanent and temporary fixatives. When and where to use those, pros and cons of them. Once again, it's not an end-all, just a good starting point. Different types of erasers, so kneaded erasers, battery-operated, a plastic eraser, a mono-zero eraser, the sand eraser, pencil extenders, colorless blenders. Same thing with sharpeners, handheld sharpeners, desk sharpeners, battery-operated sharpeners. So if this is something that interests you, please check it out. There'll be links in my description. It is my Ko-fi shop. People say, buy me a coffee. That's what they're talking about. It's a place where you can go and donate just one time, or I may even set up some different tiers going forward where you can get exclusive content, and possibly one of the things will be you would get to choose, or a random person in that tier would get to choose which book and which page and which pencils I use. So much like Patreon, only what's nice about this is I can offer things simply for free. And it's pretty self-explanatory as far as being easy to navigate. So guys, that's it. The first 50 people that download it will get it for free. Then going forward, it'll be $3. All of my color charts, if you didn't see that video, all of the color charts for the pencils that I have as of now will be on that shop. If I run across different terms, if you have a term you want me to add to the reference chart or you feel is missing, please drop it in the comments. I would love to add it. But anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.